Today we're looking at the Dreame X30 Ultra, and this is their best robot vacuum to date. And actually, I think it is one of the best robot vacuums I've ever tested. Now this is a follow-up to the Dreame X20, and there's a lot of improvements to it. And for the most part, it is incredibly hands-off. Dreame sent me the X30 for review, but they haven't paid me, and all of my opinions, as usual, are 100% my own. Dreame is a pretty new robot vacuum company, but somehow they have risen up to be one of the most respected brands. My expectations are actually really high for this one. Let's get into it. Let's start with the pickup test. The X30 has 8,300 pascals of suction, and that puts it pretty much at the top of the class. In terms of pickup, it has to perform well here, or it's absolutely game over. Let's start with hardwood. We put a set amount of sand on the hardwood, and then we sent the X30 out to do its job. We set it to the highest suction, we let it do its thing. On the sand test on hardwood, 100%. That's an amazing score. Not many robot vacuums can do that. We repeated the test on carpet. And this is a more difficult test, and most robot vacuums don't do as well in this test. And the X30 didn't do as well either, but it did pick up 95% of the sand, which is also an excellent score and pretty much at the top of the class. The X30 has an anti-tangle roll with tri-cut blades. That means it cuts the hair and then it moves it into the dust bag, and shorter hair should get less tangled, right? So how does dirt get from your floor into the robot? You've got this side brush, which is going to help move dirt in this direction in here. It's going to put it towards the brush roll. This is a pre-production brush roll. It doesn't have the tri-cut blades, but when I get the shipping version, I hope to update this video. And then you've got two rotating mop pads. Somebody in the comment asked me to use some cat litter because I've got a couple of cats. So we're gonna put that down. We're also gonna put down some longer hair and some pet hair and see how anti-tangle it is. So we just finished vacuuming pre-production brush roll. I don't see any tangles on it, and it's pretty easy to pop out and clean it, even if there are some. A lot of vacuums have trouble with this. This is actually a really difficult problem to solve. I'm talking about obstacle avoidance and navigation. So how does the X30 deal with this issue? The X30 has both an RGB camera and a laser mapping system, and I have found that robots that have both systems do a much better job overall than robots that have just one. The laser system is used to map the room and calculate distance, and the camera supplements that system using AI and an object database. It can recognize a number of different objects, and when it does, it avoids them in your room. So we've got a Barbie, we've got some clothing, we've got a little bag, we've got a remote control, we've got a shoe. But the big question is, how is it gonna deal with this? This is some fake pet poop. Let's find out. A little coffee, bit of cereal, sprinkles, and some granola. It's missing the fake pet poo. Avoid the cat. It touched the bag a little bit, coming in for the Barbie, missing the Barbie. It's trying to figure out what to do with the shirt. It is missing the shirt. How about that coffee? How about the remote control? Hit the remote control slightly, got the coffee, and coming in for a little final cleanup, and avoiding the shoe, and I think we're done. The X30 can customize its cleaning plan based on the layout of your room, your furniture, and what options you choose in the app, so you can make it go the most efficient route possible, or choose the deepest cleaning. It's really up to you. The X30 has a very clever mopping system. It's called Mop Extend, and it's kind of what it sounds like. So when you get up near a baseboard or the edge of your wall, the arm can come out and extend a little bit, in fact up to 4 centimeters, and really clean your baseboard effectively. This is also going to be good to go under things like fridges and other little crevices that might be along the edge of your wall. And when we used it in our kitchen, it did an excellent job of cleaning up the baseboard. It also has something called a re-clean feature, and this uses the camera and AI together to determine if the floor is actually clean enough when it's done mopping, and if it's not, it's going to go back to the base station, clean up the mops, and come and do another pass. It almost got everything in the first pass, but it left a little bit of the ketchup. It's coming back for another session. And yes, it got it. Got the ketchup. Now, most robot vacuums do a decent job with carpet when they're mopping. What they typically do is they will lift the mop. And the X30 is able to lift the mop about 10.5 millimeters. Not bad, but not great. However, they go one better than every other robot vacuum that I've tested so far. If you've got high pile carpet, you can have it returned to the base station after it's done mopping and then remove the mop pads and then go out and do the carpet cleaning. With the mop pads back in the base station, there's virtually no way for the carpets to get wet. You can also set it to avoid your carpets completely. And when you are vacuuming your carpets, the default is going to be suction boost mode. That means when it detects a carpet, it's going to do one pass at high suction power, or you can set it to carpet cleaning intensive mode, which is 2 passes at a lower suction level. And when it's done cleaning a section of your house, of course it has to go back to the base station.
Start charging.
This is the 6-in-1 base station, and I guess it does 6 things. So when your robot has done its cleaning cycle, it's going to return, it's going to do a couple things. This is the container in the robot, and it's going to empty everything into the base station. You can see it's actually pretty empty right now. It just did a mopping run. This has a filter on it, which is right here. There's a bag in here you need to empty up to about 75 days. You can see it's actually got a lot of stuff in here. It's got a container right here for the detergent. You just pop it out, you fill it up. You got 2 water tanks. You got a 4.5 liter water tank for clean water. You got a 4-liter water tank for dirty water. Ooh, that is dirty. After your robot has gone out and done its mopping, it's gonna do 2 things. It's gonna wash the actual mop pads themselves, and it's actually gonna wash the base plate down here too. And how does it do that? You got these little wipers that clean the base plate. And then once it's done, it's gonna air dry everything with hot air, and that's going to eliminate odors. And everything in here is being cleaned with 60°C hot water. These pads are already a little bit dirty, but let's add a little bit of soy sauce to them just to see how well it cleans up at the base station. It just completed the cleaning cycle. Let's look at the mop pads. Hey, these look pretty clean to me. The app is pretty easy to use, and that's more than I can say for a lot of the competitors. It works with multiple floors, and when it maps things out for you, it automatically divides up the areas. I didn't even put the colors in, that's completely automatic. You're able to adjust your cleaning settings the way you like, so you can vacuum, mop, mop and vacuum, or mop after you vacuum. You got different suction power levels, you've got different wet levels, and how much intensive cleaning you want it to do. You can even set the washing mode at light, standard, and deep. Because it has a camera, if you want to access it, you need to use your own specific code that you set up ahead of time. Don't use that one. And when it is recording, it's going to notify the occupants of your home, whether they be your cats or dogs, or perhaps your little children, that it is recording.
Camera is on.
You can see the obstacles that it detected and avoided during the mopping. You can see there's a shoe over here. You can see the power cord and the pet doo-doo. Overall, there are a ton of features that you can set up to have the robot vacuum exactly the way that you want. Dreame is a new company, and it's actually really impressive what they've been able to accomplish in just the last couple of years. It is absolutely one of the best testing robot vacuums I've tried so far. It does everything pretty well. It picks up really well, the mopping is really good, and the navigation is really solid too. The app is easy to use, that's important, and it actually does pretty well if your house has multiple floors. You can get it at the links down below, including any special offers or discount codes. Thanks for watching.